She was just 21, a Canadian student on a solo trip to California. But her last known moments, caught on hotel elevators' security camera, will become one of the most haunting mysteries of the internet age. Her body was found 2 weeks later, floating in a water tank on the roof of the infamous Cecil Hotel. While I paint her portrait, I want to tell you the full story of Elisa Lam. What really happened, the stories, the truths, and the questions that still have no answers. Elisa Lam was born on April 30, 1991 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, to immigrant parents from Hong Kong. She was smart, creative, and deeply thoughtful. She studied at the University of British Columbia, though at the time of her disappearance she was not officially enrolled. She was also very open online about her struggles with bipolar disorder and depression, often writing on her Tumblr blog. Her posts reflect a complicated emotional life, honest, poetic, and often filled with pain. She wanted to travel, to explore the world, to break away from her isolation. So in January 2013, she set off alone for California. Elisa began her solo journey in San Diego, then made her way up to Los Angeles. She stayed connected with her family, calling home every day. On January 26, 2013, she checked into the Cecil Hotel, a building with a dark reputation, located in downtown Los Angeles in Skid Row. The Cecil was known for its violent history, past suicides, and ties to serial killers like Richard Ramirez and Jack Underweger. But it also had a hostel-style setup, affordable for travelers like Elisa. At first, she was placed in a share room with other guests, but after complaints about her behavior, reports say she left odd notes or acted erratically. She was moved to a private room. That was the last time hotel staff reported seeing her alive. Elisa was supposed to check out of the hotel on January 31, 2013 and head to Santa Cruz. When her parents didn't hear from her that day, they panicked and called the LAPD. Officers arrived at the hotel but found no clear signs of Elisa. She was missing. But there was no evidence of foul play, no signs of break-in, no body. The only trace they had, her belongings, were still in the room. Then came the footage that made this case famous. On February 14, 2013, LAPD released security camera video taken from the hotel's elevator. The footage showing Elisa acting in a way that disturbed and confused millions. She stepped in, pressed several buttons, peeked out nervously as if someone was following her. She darted in and out, made strange gestures with her hands, then vanished from view. The video went viral. It sparked a global wave of theories, fear and obsession. 2 weeks later, guests at the Cecil began complaining about low water pressure and strange taste in the tap water. On February 19, 2013, a maintenance worker went up to the roof to check the water tanks. That's when he found Elisa's body, naked, decomposing, floating face up in one of the hotel's 4 tanks. The tank's hatch was reportedly open. Her clothes and personal items were found nearby in the tank. There were no signs of physical trauma, no drugs, no alcohol, no clear cause of death, except accidental drowning. The lead, the access point, and her mental health were all questioned, but no one had a clear answer for how she ended up there. The official autopsy ruled her death as accidental, influenced by bipolar disorder. Her toxicology report showed traces of her prescribed medications, but she had missed some doses, which may have triggered hallucinations or disoriented thinking. But this only raised more questions. Could she have lifted the heavy tank lid herself? Why was she naked? Why was there no surveillance footage of her on the roof? There are many theories. First, a mental health crisis. The simplest explanation is that Elisa suffered a manic or psychotic episode due to her bipolar disorder, wandered onto the roof and tragically drowned. But how did she access the roof? Second, was the hotel at fault for having an unsecured water tank? Why didn't alarms go off? Some claimed the roof door was locked and alarmed. Others said it was left open. Third, could someone have followed her and lured her to the roof? There are no signs of trauma, but critics say the case wasn't thoroughly investigated. With the Cecil Hotel's history, some believed her behavior and death were connected to something darker, an unseen force or haunting. These theories aren't backed by evidence, but they remain popular online. Wild claims included connection to tuberculosis tests called Lam Elisa, government cover-ups, and edit footage. Most have been debunked, but they reflect how obsessed people became with filling in the gaps. The Cecil Hotel itself became a character in this story. Built in 1924, it's been the scene of multiple suicides, murders and serial killer stays. Its connection to darkness made Elisa's case feel destined to some. Netflix even released a documentary about the case in 2021, but it was criticized for leaning too far into the conspiracies. My opinion is very nice documentary and I recommend it to watch it. It's easy to get lost in the mystery, but Elisa was a real person, a daughter, a writer, someone tried to find her place in the world. The final blog posts showed vulnerability and hope. She wrote about loneliness, about finding courage, about fighting depression. And that's what makes her story so painful. It's not just what happened, it's who it happened to. As I finish painting Elisa Lam, I still don't know the full truth. No one does. But what I do know is that her story, strange, tragic, and unfinished, continues to haunt in millions. Not because of ghosts or conspiracies, but because we can see ourselves in her. A traveler, a thinker, a person trying to feel okay in the world that sometimes isn't. Let me know in the comments, what do you believe really happened to Elisa Lam? And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories. For who stayed until now, thank you. I have a small update about the channel. I will be taking just a little extra time before the next upload. I'm in the middle of a move and I want the next portrait and story to be just as strong. Thank you for being here with me throughout these stories. Your support meant everything. See you in the next one.